Hey guys, I'm Chris Buck and a very warm welcome to Friday Fretworks, and this week we're taking a look at my most controversial technique, neck vibrato. Now, if you've been following Friday Fretworks for any length of time, you may well remember a video I did on this very subject going back about a year and a half ago. But if the amount of questions and comments I get every single week are anything to go by, I thought it was a topic definitely worth revisiting, this time a little bit more succinctly. In short, why on earth am I shaking the neck of my guitar? In case you haven't got the foggiest idea of what I'm talking about, it's this. Now, hopefully at this point we will at least be able to agree on the fact that there is an audible effect to neck vibrato. But what on earth is neck vibrato? In essence, it's subtlety here being a very important caveat, moving the neck of the guitar away from and back towards the body to create a subtle vibrato effect. Your left hand controls the motion, the to and fro, whereas your right arm, your right forearm, anchors against the body of the guitar to create an anchor to push and pull against. Now, as I said, this is a subtle effect. It's not drastic by any means, which I think is kind of where some of the confusion arises from, but it's worth pointing out that this is a very different effect to what you might have seen the likes of Slash doing, where he really pushes away from the body with the neck of the guitar and back towards his own body with the body of the Les Paul. This creates a very drastic drop in pitch, more akin to what you might expect from a dive bomb on a guitar with a trem. Ultimately, this is not necessarily the most healthy thing for the guitar, and you don't want to do it too often, as Slash will tell you. So why is neck vibrato such a source of frustration and confusion for so many people? Now, not that I frequent guitar forums personally, but a mate of mine was kind enough to send me a link to a 13-page thread recently, the topic of which was actually a video I'd posted online that was then reposted to the forum. And the fierce debate then raised in the comments as to why this was now a thing and why I was doing it ultimately, as clearly it had no audible effect. Now, I'll admit that, to a large degree, much like flicking between my pick and my fingers on my right hand, this is something which is so inherent in my playing at this point that it may well creep into certain clips when I'm not actually looking to use it to create a vibrato effect. It's just me feeling the music. But to those who say that it clearly has no audible effect, I would reference the likes of Ted Greene, Bill Frisell, John Scofield, or even Jim Campilongo, all of which not only used it to incredible effect, but I would say none of which were particularly bothered about whether they look cool on Instagram. Ultimately, the easiest way to hear the effect, notice I said hear and not see, as I said last week, we're all undoubtedly guilty on occasion of listening with our eyes. It's going to be a blind test. Now, for the next clip, you're not actually going to see anything. You're just going to hear two examples, actually the first two chords taken from the intro jam, one of which will be played with neck vibrato and one without. Even without the video, it'll be fairly apparent which is which. So I guess the only remaining question to answer is why? Why do I do it? Now, as I said, this is something that I've been doing for so long at this point that it really is instinctive and has long past the point of being a conscious thought process. Not that it ever really was, to be honest. That said, I can appreciate that the angle of which I shoot my videos from probably makes it look much more pronounced than it actually is. The short answer, though, is I feel it breathes life into chords, not just through the vibrato effect, but the general motion of me moving with the music. For me, playing guitar is a pretty physical experience, to be honest. As many people have pointed out, I do have a little bit of a death grip with my left hand on occasion, and my right hand can be a little bit of a Thor's hammer. Neck vibrato isn't detrimental to the structural integrity of the guitar, as some people have suggested, and if done correctly, i.e. subtly, certainly won't ever cause any damage to your guitar either. Ultimately, for me, it's all a part of the process of getting into and feeling the music, whether I'm playing live, stood up, in a club or a venue to an in-person audience, or I'm playing in my home, sat down through a lens to you guys. Ultimately, it's a more rewarding, more enjoyable experience for everyone if I'm getting a kick out of it. And for me, it's just part of my process. Either way, to be honest, I don't really think it's worth a 13-page forum thread, or in fact a YouTube video, come to think of it, but c'est la vie. As ever, I'm Chris Buck, you're watching Friday Fretworks. Please subscribe, hit the bell icon if you haven't already, and I shall see you next week for another video. Cheers guys, take care, I'll see you soon. Thank you.